Good morning, science scholars. You all should have answered your two bell ringer questions. Those questions are, what do you know about gravity? And can you see gravity? We know it's extremely important to find out what we know already about a topic before we go too far into learning about it. So that's the purpose of those bell ringer questions. Here are our objectives for today. Students will explore basic concepts about gravity. Students will be able to express that gravity is an invisible pulling force which affects anything that has mass. The answer to those bell ringer questions, we're going to go over those after today's lesson. I don't want you guys to share any answers or anything. We're just going to do that afterwards, okay? So, right now, please take out your science binder and insert your Exploring Gravity handout into your binder. You should have picked up the Exploring Gravity handout when you came in the door. If you did not do that, then raise your hand and I'll bring you one. Okay, so everybody's got one. Okay. You guys go ahead and get that out and get that page in there, and you are going to fill in the blanks on your note page as I go over them. And if I'm going too fast, you guys have questions, just raise your hand, okay? You're going to stay logged into Pear Deck, and our notes are going to be on Pear Deck. So first of all, we need to find out some definitions. What is matter? And fill in these blanks. Matter is the stuff that makes up the universe. Everything that takes up space and has mass is matter. Okay, well, what is mass? We know what space is, right? We take up space, like the space that I'm standing in, the space under that our desk is taking up. We understand that. What is mass? Mass is a measure of the amount of matter in an object. All objects are light or heavy because of their mass. Okay, so now that we know the definition of matter, we know the definition of mass, I want you guys we're going to do popcorn, and I want you guys just to shoot me some examples of matter, okay? All right.
An apple.
An apple. Okay, what's another one?
An orange.
Orange. What about me? Am I matter?
Yes.
Yes. What about you? Are you matter?
Yes.
We're taking up space and we have mass. So person.
A brick.
A brick. Good job. A water bottle. All right, give me a couple more.
A pencil.
Pencil, yes. What about this board that I'm writing on?
Yes.
Marker board. This marker that's in my hand.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a pretty good list. We got about, 7? So now I want you to write 5 examples. You can take 5 from this list or you can write 5 of your own. I want you to write 5 examples of matter on your note page. All right. Okay, you guys give me a thumbs up whenever you're ready to move on. Okay. All right. Now look at these pictures. How many of you guys have seen something like this in your house? Raise your hand if you can tell me what these do.
They weigh you.
They weigh you. Ooh, okay. I'm sure you guys have stepped on one of these before, right? You guys have been weighed. Okay. Well, so we haven't talked about weight yet, but we've talked about mass. So weight, this is very important. Weight is different from mass. Weight is the measure of the force of gravity on an object. The mass of an object will never change, but the weight of an object can change based on its location. Based on its location, for example, you may weigh 100 pounds on Earth, but in outer space, you would be weightless. However, you will always have the same mass on Earth as you have in outer space. So what is gravity? Gravity is an invisible pulling force. What's invisible mean?
You can't see it.
Can't see it. It's invisible. We can't see it. Gravity pulls things towards Earth's center. So gravity is always pulling on anything that has mass. Every object that has mass has gravitational pull. Earth's gravity is what keeps us from floating off into space. So if we did not have gravity, we would just be floating, and we would just float all the time, just float out into space. So it keeps us grounded. That's a pretty good word. Keeps us grounded. Okay, so we're going to watch a short video to see how gravity works.
Perception that often with the mass comes up with many students, and mention that the larger the ground, because many students have the misconception that the larger the mass, the faster it falls. And I have a great activity to show you that will address that misconception. For this activity, all you need are the following: 3 table tennis balls, a small piece of string, and tape. What you need to do first is hold up the 2 balls above the desktop and drop them at the same time, and observe when they strike the desktop. Here we go. Watch that again.
Watch it again. Instant replay. Watch this. Wow. So what
Pretty
happened?
much at the same time. Okay. But what happens if I were to
Pretty much at
double
the
the
same
mass
time.
of that ball? Would the balls travel at twice the speed? Well, one way to find out. What we're going to do now is build a system using these 2 table tennis balls. To build that system, we'll connect them together using that piece of string. So we'll take our tape.
So by putting these 2 balls together, he's doubling that mass, okay? He's going to make one of them, it's going to be 2
And
balls.
use it to connect one of the table tennis balls with the other one.
And we want to see if anything different happens. What do you think? Think the 2 will fall
And
faster?
now we have a system of 2 balls.
Let's see.
Now let's compare the speed at which this double ball system falls in comparison to the single ball, one that has half that mass. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh. Pretty much the
They
same time.
fell at the same rate. Interesting, because this system has twice the mass than this one, yet having that extra table tennis.
All right, so it has twice the mass, but they fell at they still fell at the same speed. They both hit at pretty much the same time. Pretty interesting. Okay. I want you to type one thing that you learned about gravity so far today. You should have a text box on there, and it should just let you type just one thing. What is one thing that you learned about gravity? You just type it in there, okay? All right, whenever you're done, you can go ahead and close your Chromebook, and you can go ahead and put away your science notebook. Now that we have a better understanding of how gravity works, we are going to break off into small groups, and we're going to do some experiments to allow us to test to see if what we just saw on the video, if we can recreate that.